This video is sponsored by VIPSCDKey.com. VIPSCDKey is a marketplace website where you can purchase game keys and software keys with no hassle. VIPSCDKey offers a legit Windows 10 Pro key for only $21. This is the same case I use on my PC builds. But to make it more awesome, they will be giving another 25% discount. Just type our coupon code XTNC to get it for only $15. You now have your legit Windows 10 key license all set, but in a more affordable price. If you're in the Philippines, purchasing is very easy. You can use PayPal, PayMaya, or GCash. Visit VIPSCDKey.com now. I'll put the link in the video description below. So thank you VIPSCDKey.com for sponsoring this video.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world I'd never known. Something about it felt like I've been waiting my whole life. Is this home?
Hey guys, Action here and welcome to another video. Today I have a new gaming laptop to review, which is the Machenike S15. As usual, I'll talk about its features, show some performance and gaming benchmarks, as well as my thoughts on this gaming laptop. But first of all, this could be the first time you have heard of the brand Machenike. So who exactly are they? Machenike is a Chinese esports brand that was founded in 2014, invested by Haier Group and one of the strategic partners of Alibaba Group. It appears to be a big brand in China, especially when it comes to professional gaming hardware, being listed on China's stock exchange since 2017. And since then, they have started to expand their reach overseas. So, what's inside the box? The box itself is enticing enough, giving you the feel that it's not a cheap laptop. And it includes a lot of goodies inside. Ours came with a backpack which looks pretty decent, as well as a mousepad and a gaming mouse that looks familiar. The mouse also has braided cables and surprisingly good. That alone is a plus point for me. There's also a charging brick, which is actually small for these kinds of gaming laptop. But it does the job, so no complaints here. Back to the laptop itself. I was already initially impressed when I saw the specs being offered, especially for its price. Here, what I particularly have is their S15C model, equipped with the 12th Gen Intel Core i7-12700H CPU and RTX 3050 Ti GPU, as well as 16GB of 3200 MHz DDR4 RAM and 512GB of NVMe SSD storage. Basically, the specs on this can compete with some of the other gaming laptops higher than this price range of 70,000 pesos. Now, design-wise, the Machenike S15C in my opinion was designed pretty well. It has a matte finish on most surfaces, and surprisingly, it is also not a smudge or fingerprint magnet, so you will not need to wipe it every now and then. There's the orange Machenike branding and logo printed on the front, although there's no illumination or logo reflection of any sort, so we're on the minimalistic side here, with no aggressive styling points that screams overall gamer out there. The build quality seems to be durable enough with very minimal flex. The screen can be opened and closed with one hand, which could be an indication of durable and well-built hinge section. The laptop is also lightweight at around 2.2 kilograms, so it is great for portability and traveling. The display is a 15.6-inch IPS-like panel with Full HD 1080p resolution and 144Hz refresh rate with anti-glare, which gives a battery-smooth experience when using and gaming on it. Colors are vivid and the display is bright at around 300 nits. It also promises a wide viewing angle at 170 degrees. Below the display, there's the Machenike text logo. And above it is the 720p HD webcam, which is just enough for non-critical video conferencing or video calls, with the microphone also decent enough for you to be heard from a regular sitting distance to the laptop. So this is the sample of the microphone recording and the built-in webcam set to 720p at 30 frames per second. On the keyboard, I was impressed because it was satisfying to type on. The key size and travel are enough for you to easily press the right key without making mistakes. The fonts might be a little bit on the gamery side, but it's okay. It doesn't really feel cramped at all despite it being a full-size keyboard, which is always a plus, especially on this form factor. And there's also a lot of easy to access functions baked in it. The only negative here that I can see is that while it is being a backlit keyboard with adjustable brightness, it is not per key RGB and you can only select one color at a time. So sorry rainbow color fans. But for me, I think that's more than enough. There's also no color effects. Maybe they can update the control software in the future if the hardware supports it. The trackpad on the other hand works really well too. Smooth tracking, accurate gestures, and the size is enough for use. In fact, if I'm not gaming, I'm pretty satisfied with just using the trackpad. Speakers on the other hand are pretty thin sounding, as expected with small laptop speaker units. But it's clear and loud enough, so that's fine if you're just using it for convenience or simple listening. The Machenike S15C ships with Windows 11 Pro by default. There's not really much bloatware, which is always good. The only ones are their control center, which is pretty useful, such as controlling fan speeds, recording macros, and performance profiles. Anything else are Windows 11 bloats. Connectivity-wise, the Machenike S15C has many ports, despite being thin. On the rear side, we have one USB-C 3.2, the DC power adapter input jack, one mini display port 1.4, and one HDMI 2.0. On the left side, we have a Kensington lock hole, one USB 3.2 Type-A port, one USB 2.0 Type-A, and a separate 3.5mm jack for microphone and earphone. Finally, on the right side, we have another one USB 3.2 Type-A and 1GB Ethernet port. On the bottom side, we can see that there's two cooling fans beneath the cover. So upon opening it, we can find inside the cooling fans being interconnected with copper heat pipes, which enables the cooling of both the CPU and GPU simultaneously. There's exhaust vents for the fans on each side of the laptop, which dissipates all the hot air from the system. Although obviously when maxed out, the fans are very loud. Fresh air intake was done from beneath as the laptop has tall rubber feet to elevate the laptop a bit when rested on a flat surface like a table. Other than that, we can also see the lithium polymer battery, which on our estimate can give you at least 2 hours of moderate to heavy usage before finding an outlet to charge it with. There's also the upgradable RAM slots as well as the NVMe SSD and an additional 2.5-inch SATA slot for expanding storage either with another SSD or hard drive. So for upgradability, this is a huge point because these components are replaceable. While gaming, we've seen that the thermals were spiking at first and then settled down to something stable at around 80 to 90 degrees Celsius on both the CPU and GPU, as the CPU early throttled seemingly for prolonged sustained gaming performance. I was able to play for longer without noticing a significant decrease in performance, maybe thanks to the new Intel 12th Gen CPU's gaming power and the RTX 3050 Ti inside. I've also noticed that the area where you usually rest your hands when gaming doesn't heat that much. All of the heat was in the middle part, so beware of it when gaming. For the gaming benchmark, I tested a few games such as F1 2021 to demonstrate how DLSS can affect FPS, especially with ray tracing on and off. As you can see, there's around 30 plus FPS difference when ray tracing is turned on and off. Apex Legends on the other hand also runs smoothly on high settings, with an average of around 125 FPS. Need for Speed Heat is a known heavy AAA racing game and it had an average of around 72 FPS. I also ran Cinebench quickly to see the potential score, and here we have the scores for the multi-core at around 15,175 points, while the single core has scored at around 1,746 points. In my opinion, the Machenike S15C is something that can be a compelling choice for budget-conscious who are eyeing for a mid to high settings gaming laptop that can be also used for work. It is pretty lightweight and portable. The display, keyboard, trackpad, and hardware inside are all good. Even the build quality is pretty sturdy. For the price of 70,000 pesos, I can strongly recommend this. The caveats are very few, and obviously won't break the deal at all. And if you care only about gaming, the power of the new Intel 12th Gen CPU and Nvidia's RTX features such as DLSS would really help raising the bar or FPS on your games as well. The freebies are also good, especially the included gaming mouse. It's now the time to welcome a new brands to the market, especially if this is the kind of product that we're getting from them. I am personally using this as my new gaming laptop and probably my portable work machine as well. For those who are interested, I have linked their Lazada store page on the description, so check them out.